Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily English Talk. I'm Jack, your host, and as always, I'm here with the amazing Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be here today. Thanks for joining us. It's going to be a fun and helpful episode.
Absolutely. Today we're talking about something every English learner thinks about, but sometimes struggles with, and that is how to practice English every single day.
Yes, if you've ever felt stuck or thought, I don't have time to practice English, or I just can't stay consistent, then this episode is made for you. You're not alone.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Practicing English every day doesn't have to be boring or difficult. Even just 5 or 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference over time.
Totally. And the best part is, it can be fun too. Imagine learning while listening to your favorite songs, watching videos, or even just chatting with yourself.
Yes, talking to yourself in English is totally okay. We promise you won't sound weird.
Exactly. And practicing daily helps you improve faster, remember words better, and gain confidence when speaking. Even small, consistent steps add up big time.
So in today's episode, we're going to share simple, practical ways to include English practice in your everyday life, plus some fun ideas and challenges you can try immediately.
Yep, and by the end of this episode, you'll have a plan to practice English every day without feeling stressed or overwhelmed.
So let's dive in. All right, Sarah, before we jump into tips, I have to admit something. I wasn't always consistent with practicing English every day.
Oh, I know that story, Jack. Didn't you tell me once that you went 2 months without opening an English book?
Exactly. 2 whole months. I thought, I'll just practice next week. And you know what? Next week never came. I barely remembered any new words, and when I tried to speak, I just froze.
Oh wow, that's so relatable. I've been there too. Sometimes life gets busy, or we feel tired, and English practice just slips away.
Yes, and I realized something important. It's not about practicing perfectly every day. It's about making small, consistent efforts. Even 5 minutes a day is better than nothing.
Exactly. I remember when I started journaling in English for just 10 minutes a day. At first, it felt awkward and slow, but after a few weeks, I could actually see my progress, and it felt amazing.
See? That's why we're here today, to share those little strategies that really work. Because, let's face it, English can feel overwhelming if you try to do too much at once.
Yes, and trust me, our listeners will love this, because we're going to give tips you can actually do every day without feeling stressed.
So whether you're at home, at work, or on the go, you'll find something useful today. And hopefully, you'll laugh a little with us too.
Exactly. Learning English doesn't have to be boring. It can be fun, simple, and part of your everyday life.
All right, now that we've shared our little struggles, let's talk about some of the common problems learners face when trying to practice English every day. All right, Sarah, so we've talked about our little struggles. But I think it's safe to say that most English learners face the same problems when trying to practice every day.
Absolutely. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's not even that we don't want to practice, it's just life gets in the way.
Yes. And one of the biggest problems I've seen is finding the time. People say, I'm too busy at work, or I have so many things to do, I just can't practice.
Exactly. And honestly, I get it. I used to think, if I don't have 30 minutes, I might as well skip it. But the truth is, even 5 minutes a day makes a difference if you do it consistently.
Yep. Small steps are better than no steps at all. Another big challenge I see is not knowing what to practice.
Oh yes, you sit down and think, should I read? Should I listen? Should I write? And then you end up doing nothing because it feels overwhelming.
Exactly. And sometimes learners just focus too much on grammar or perfection. You know, I must not make mistakes.
Oh, I've definitely done that. And the result? You freeze and don't speak at all. And that's the worst enemy of daily practice, fear of making mistakes.
Yes. And one more problem I see is losing motivation. At first, learners are excited. They practice every day, and then a week later, they stop.
Totally. That's why it's so important to make English practice enjoyable, so it feels like a hobby, not a chore.
Exactly. And don't worry, in this episode, we're going to share simple, practical ways to overcome all these problems. Because once you know what works, practicing English every day becomes much easier, and even fun.
Yes, so if you've ever struggled with finding time, staying motivated, or just not knowing what to do, keep listening, because our tips are going to make your life so much easier.
All right, let's dive into the first set of easy daily practice tips. All right, Sarah, now comes the good part, the solutions. Let's talk about some easy ways our listeners can practice English every single day without stress.
Yes, and these tips are super simple. No big textbooks, no pressure, just realistic habits you can actually keep.
Exactly. So let's start with tip number 1. Set a very small daily goal.
I love this one, because most people think they need 1 hour a day, and that's scary.
Right. Instead, say to yourself, today, I'll practice English for just 5 or 10 minutes. That's it. Anyone can find 5 minutes.
And the funny thing is, once you start, you often end up doing more than 5 minutes anyway. But even if you don't, that's still a win.
Exactly. Consistency beats intensity. A little every day is better than a lot once a month.
All right, let's move to tip number 2. Use English in your daily life.
Yes, this is such a powerful one. You don't need a classroom to practice English. You can think in English, talk to yourself in English, or even name things around you.
For example, when you wake up, you can say, I'm tired, but I need to get up. Or when you're cooking, I'm cutting onions. Simple sentences.
Exactly. And this kind of practice trains your brain to think in English, not translate all the time.
Okay, now tip number 3. Listen to English every day.
Yes, listening is one of the easiest habits to build. You can listen while walking, driving, cleaning, anytime.
Podcasts, YouTube videos, music, audiobooks. Choose something you enjoy. And don't worry if you don't understand everything.
That's so important. You don't need to understand 100%. Even 50 to 60% is great. Your brain is still learning.
Exactly. And over time, you'll notice you understand more and more without trying too hard.
So let's quickly recap. Set a small daily goal. Use English in your everyday life. And listen to English every day.
Simple, realistic, and powerful. And guess what? We're just getting started.
Yep. In the next section, we'll share even more easy daily practice tips, especially for speaking and reading. All right, welcome back. Now that we've covered some simple daily habits, let's move on to a few more powerful but easy tips, especially for speaking and reading.
Yes, and I know a lot of our listeners are thinking, I understand English, but I'm scared to speak. So let's talk about that.
Exactly. So tip number 4, practice speaking, even if it's just with yourself.
This one sounds funny at first, but it really works. You can speak in front of a mirror, in your room, or even quietly when you're alone.
Yes, you can describe your day, talk about your plans, or answer simple questions like, how was my day?
And the key here is not perfection, just speaking. Mistakes are part of the process.
Absolutely. Speaking every day, even for 2 or 3 minutes, builds confidence faster than anything else.
All right, now tip number 5, use apps or online tools.
Yes, there are so many great apps and websites that make daily practice easy. Vocabulary apps, speaking apps, even short videos on social media.
And the best part? Most of them are designed for short practice sessions, 5 or 10 minutes, which is perfect for busy days.
Exactly. Just be careful not to use too many apps. Choose 1 or 2 and stick with them.
Great point. Okay, let's move to tip number 6. Read something short every day.
Yes, you don't need to read long books. Short articles, social media posts, news headlines, or even comments in English are enough.
And when you read, try to notice new words or expressions, but don't stop for every single word.
Exactly. Focus on understanding the idea, not translating everything.
All right, let's give our listeners a mini challenge.
Love it. Here it is. Today, speak one sentence in English every hour, even if it's just in your head or quietly out loud.
Yes, and at the end of the day, you'll be surprised how much English you actually used.
So now you have even more tools, speaking, apps, and reading, all simple, all daily.
And next, we're going to make things even more fun with some creative and enjoyable practice ideas.
All right, Sarah, now let's make things fun. Because learning English shouldn't feel like homework.
Exactly. If it feels boring, you won't do it every day. So let's talk about some creative ways to practice English and actually enjoy it.
One of my favorites is narrating your day in English.
Yes, like you're the main character in a movie. Now I'm making coffee. Now I'm checking my phone.
Exactly! It sounds silly, but it's amazing speaking practice. And you don't need anyone else, just you and your English.
Another fun idea is role-playing. You can pretend you're ordering food at a restaurant, going to an interview, or meeting someone new.
Yes, you can even change your voice or personality if you want. It makes speaking less scary and more playful.
I also love copying or mimicking short clips from movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos.
That's such a great one. You pause the video, repeat the sentence, copy the pronunciation, the rhythm, even the emotion.
And don't worry if you sound strange at first. Everyone does. That's how improvement starts.
Another simple idea is writing a few lines in English every day. A short journal, a tweet, or even a message to yourself.
Yes, just 3 or 4 sentences about your day is enough. No pressure, no grammar stress, just expression.
The main idea here is this. If English becomes part of your daily life and part of your fun, you'll practice without even thinking about it.
Exactly. And when you enjoy the process, staying consistent becomes much easier.
All right, now that we've had some fun, let's talk about something really important, motivation and consistency. All right, Sarah, we've shared a lot of tips, but let's be honest. Even with great ideas, staying consistent can still be hard sometimes.
So true. There are days when you're tired, busy, or just not in the mood. And that's completely normal.
Exactly. And this is something we really want our listeners to understand. You don't have to be perfect. Missing one day doesn't mean you've failed.
Yes, what matters is getting back to it the next day. Progress comes from showing up again and again, even on low-energy days.
One thing that really helps is changing your mindset. Instead of saying, I have to practice English, say, I choose to practice English.
I love that. It feels more positive and less like a chore. And remember, mistakes are not a problem. They're proof that you're learning.
Absolutely. Every mistake means you tried. And every time you try, you're getting better, even if you don't notice it immediately.
Another great tip is to track your progress. You can use a calendar, an app, or even just a notebook. Seeing your streak grow is super motivating.
Yes. And don't forget to celebrate small wins. Understanding a sentence, learning a new word, or speaking without fear. Those are big achievements.
Exactly. Be kind to yourself. Learning a language is a journey, not a race.
All right, coming up next, we'll answer some common questions learners often ask about practicing English every day.
All right, Jack. Now let's answer some questions we hear all the time from English learners.
Yes, these are questions many of you might be thinking right now.
Okay, first question. How long does it take to see improvement if I practice English every day?
Great question. The honest answer is, it depends. But if you practice a little every day, most people start to notice small improvements in a few weeks.
Exactly. You might understand more when listening or feel a little more confident when speaking. Those small changes are signs that it's working.
All right, next question. What if I don't understand everything when I listen or read?
This one is so important. You do not need to understand everything. That's completely normal when learning a language.
Yes. Focus on the general idea, not every word. Over time, your understanding will naturally improve.
Okay, here's another common one. Is it okay to make mistakes when speaking English?
Absolutely, yes. Making mistakes is not just okay, it's necessary.
Every fluent speaker you know made thousands of mistakes. Mistakes are how your brain learns what sounds right.
And here's the last one. What if I miss a day of practice?
Then you forgive yourself and start again the next day. One missed day doesn't erase your progress.
Consistency over time is what matters, not perfection.
All right, now let's wrap things up with a quick summary and a fun challenge for our listeners.
All right, Sarah, let's do a quick recap of everything we talked about today.
Yes, so first we learned that small daily goals matter more than big, unrealistic plans. Even 5 to 10 minutes counts.
Then we talked about using English in your daily life, thinking, talking, or labeling objects around you.
We also covered listening every day, speaking with yourself or a partner, using apps, and reading short English texts.
And finally, we shared some fun and creative ways to make English practice enjoyable, like narrating your day, role-playing, and mimicking movies.
All right, listeners, here's your actionable challenge for the next 7 days.
Try to speak at least one sentence in English every hour and write 3 sentences about your day every evening.
Yes, keep it simple, keep it consistent, and don't worry about mistakes.
And if you do this for a week, I promise you'll notice a difference in how confident you feel with English.
That's it for today, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on Easy Conversation Podcast.
Yes, we hope you had fun and learned some practical tips to practice English every single day.
Don't forget to try your daily challenge and comment below how it goes. We love hearing from you.
And stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll talk about fun ways to learn English with movies and TV shows. You don't want to miss it.
All right, friends, until next time, keep practicing, have fun, and remember, small steps every day lead to big progress.
See you next time.